Alright, this is part 10 of Microsoft Access video tutorials, and in this video tutorial we're going to create even more complicated query. Okay, actually two queries. So let me actually first show you the design, what I would like to accomplish. At the end of my last video, which will be probably 3 videos down the road, I would like to have a printable billing statement. Reminder, the whole model that we're considering revolves around us charging, sending our employees to work for our clients, and employees spend certain number of hours on our clients. For each hour that every employee spends on the client, I am going to charge certain amount of dollars. Well, let's call the billing rate for the employee. So my printable billing statements should look like this. On the top of the billing summary, I should have client information, including name, street, city, state, and zip. So who is that I'm charging? Okay. In the bulk of my printable billing statement, I should have the details of what was done for that specific client. So I should have a listing of employee names. I should have a listing of dates when they were working for that client, what kind of work they did, how many hours they spent each time, and also each employee has something that's called billing rate, how many dollars we charge per hour, and after that I should have subtotal for that specific instance, right? For that specific employee working on that client on that date, and subtotal obviously should be work hours times the billing rate. Right? So for example, if John Smith spent 8 hours and his billing rate is $100, so that should be $800. Okay. Now here is the challenge. Client information comes obviously from table clients. Work date, work description, and work hours comes from the table work completed. Employee name and billing rate comes from the table employees. And I don't record anywhere the subtotals actually, so they don't even exist. I should calculate them on the fly if I know work hours and also if I know the billing rate. So let's get started. Obviously, we should pull information from more than one table. Actually, at the end of the day, it should be 3 tables pulled together, right? So let's switch back to Microsoft Access and let's get started. Go to tab Create and click on the query design, just like we always do, and then close that and switch to SQL view. So it's still going to be a select query, but it's going to be more complicated. Now, because I'm pulling information out of 3 different tables, I cannot just specify the field name, because same field name can exist in more than one table, right? Like for example, employees can have street address, and clients can have street address, and it can be called actually street column in both of these tables. So to distinguish these 2 fields, I have to specify both table name and the field name inside this table. So for example, if I want to select client underscore name, I can't just leave it like that, client name. I have to tell which table it's coming from, and that would be table clients. So first I need to type table name clients and then put a dot and type the field name that I'm selecting from table clients. And because it's a list, I put a comma and I just keep going. So from table clients, reminder, I also want street, city, state, and zip. So let's do that. So again, table name clients dot street, okay, then comma. Next one is table clients dot field name city, okay, then comma, table clients dot state, comma, table clients dot zip, and that's everything, I believe. Name, street, city, state, and zip. Okay. Now next part of fields, group of fields should come from table work completed. That would be work date, work description, and work hours. Okay. So I should put comma, and to make the query more readable, I'll go ahead and start a new line. SQL processing engine doesn't really care about that. You can put as many spaces or new lines as you want. It's still going to be viewed as one continuous query. Okay, so I put comma. The next field is going to be coming from table work underscore. Don't forget underscore completed. And I have to put dot, and the field is going to be, let's see, work date, work description, and no, I don't think it's correct. Hold on. Work date, work description, and hours worked. That's what it is. Okay. So work completed table dot work underscore date, comma. The list keeps going. Table name is work underscore completed dot work description, work underscore description, and the last field that I'm pulling out of work completed is hours worked. So work underscore completed, comma, hours. It doesn't really care about upper or lowercase. Hours underscore worked. Okay. That's the full list that I want to pull for now. Okay, it's only 2 tables. And now let's see actually how the tables are related. So that's a very useful thing to do. Go to database tools relationships, and you can see that clients and work completed, these are 2 tables that we're joining right now, right? They're related by field client ID, right? So the value in the client ID in table clients should match with the client underscore ID in table work completed. So, and that's exactly what I have to specify at the end of my query. So this is just a list of fields, and then I have to tell SQL where that list is coming from. So I have to say from, and here I'm going to do this: open and close the brackets, as if I'm, creating one big super table. And inside the brackets, I'm going to type what exactly happens. What do I do? So I'm selecting these fields from table clients, but I have to inner join table clients with table work underscore completed. But that's not everything. Okay, I have to specify for SQL how exactly I'm joining clients and work completed. And we saw that already in the database tools relationships. Client ID in the table clients should match client underscore ID in the table work completed. And that's precisely what I have to type here. So after saying from clients inner join work completed, I have to say on how exactly they're matched. Table clients dot, I have a typo here, clients dot client ID, no underscore, should match exactly table work underscore completed dot, and the field name is client underscore ID. If you forget this underscore client ID in the table work completed, it's not going to work. It will show you the error message as if you're trying to pass a parameter onto the query. Okay. All right. So this is my query. It lists fields from 2 different tables, and then it says how to join these 2 tables. Right. So let's go to the design tab and hope that it works, that I didn't make any mistakes. So click on the run button, and there you go. It does work. That means I did everything correctly. Now, reminder, these fields, client name, street, city, state, and zip, they come from table clients. These fields, work date, work description, and hours worked, they come from table work completed. Okay, now let's go back to my, well, first let's save it actually. Let's save this query, and I'm going to call it to underscore table underscore join underscore query, and then click OK, and I have a new query in the group of queries. Alright, so let's go back now to my original design. So I'm almost there, right? I selected the information about my client that goes to the upper left corner of my future billing statement. I've selected information about what was done, when it was done here, right? When, work date, work description, and how many hours was worked. Okay. What's missing, of course, is employee name, billing rate, and subtotal. And as we mentioned earlier in this video, employee names come from table employees. Billing rate comes from table employees, but my subtotal doesn't come from anywhere because it simply doesn't exist in my database. So I have to be creative. Okay. So let's go back to the SQL, and I'm going to use this query because it's partially completed, right? By now I have more than, well, I have 2/3 of the query right now, right? The only piece missing is I need to join information about employees. So I'll go to SQL view, select everything, copy, close this query, create new, go to create tab, query design, and close that one, and switch to the SQL view, okay, and paste. So this is new query, blank one, okay, but I'm using my 2-table join query, and I'm going to build on the top of what's already there, okay. So first of all, my list of fields must keep going, right? I need from table employees, let's open up table employees. From table employees, I need first name and last name. That's kind of what constitutes employee name, plus the billing rate, right? Okay, so let's select them. Let's switch back to the query. So I'm going to put my cursor right after work completed, hours worked. That was the last field that I was selecting in the previous query. So the list goes on, so I put comma and new line. I told you that SQL doesn't really care about how many lines you have inside your query. So I must specify, of course, the same schema, right? Table name dot column name. So table name is employees, okay? Dot column name is first name with underscore. Hey, Kitty. All right, first name. I have a cat. All right, then put comma. Again, table name employees dot last name, last underscore name, and the last one, again comma, is going to be table employees. I have to put a dot, and let's see how it's called, billing underscore rate. So I'm going to put billing underscore rate, okay? All right, so this is the list of fields. Now, what will happen if I try to run this query? Let's just see, okay? Design, if I click the run button, it says, I don't understand what does that mean, employees dot first name that you used inside your query. The reason why it cannot find the column employees, column first name inside the table employees is because I did not specify that employees table is part of this query, right? So this part is still from my previous query where I joined 2 tables, clients and work completed. I didn't tell anything to do anything with table employees. So I have to correct that, okay? So how do I do that? Well, in the previous query, 2-table join, right? Query. I joined table clients with table work completed. Client ID should match. So therefore, I created really big, let's call it mega table, okay, out of these 2 tables, clients and work completed. Now I'm going to take this mega table and join it with another table, and that would be employees. Okay, so I have to say that this thing inside the brackets, okay, that is a table which is a result of inner join of 2 tables. That table I have to inner join with table employees. And how exactly that happens, okay? So let me start a new line so that the query is visible. Again, I have to say on, right? And how do these tables join? Let's go to the relationship. So I joined clients and work completed, right, already. And then after that, I'm joining to this group, table employees. What should happen is employees, employee ID must match exactly work completed, employee ID. Okay, and that's what I should specify in my condition here. So I'm joining table employees. How exactly? Table work underscore completed dot, I believe it's called employee underscore ID. Let's verify. In table work completed, here in the table work completed, yes, I have employee underscore ID. Okay. But in the table employees, I have employee ID no underscore. So work completed dot employee underscore ID must match exactly table employees dot employee ID no underscore. Okay, And that should do the trick pretty much. So I selected extra fields from table employees, and I joined table employees with this previous group of tables that I joined before. Okay. All right. So let's try. Hopefully there are no errors and it will run. Go to the Design tab and click Run button. And thank God it worked. That means that we didn't make any errors. So let's review what this Dynaset contains. It has client name, street, city, state, zip, as it was before in the two table join. It has work date, work description, and hours worked, as it was before. But additionally, I have the name of an employee who did that work, and also what's their billing rate. And that all comes from the table employees. So what I have now is actually a three table join, right? So I'm going to save it, and the query name is going to be 3 underscore table underscore join query. All right. Now, I'm almost done actually. All right. The only thing missing is, let's go back to our design. I have client name, right? Selected. I have employee last name, first name. I have work date in my Dynaset. I have work description. I have hours worked. I have billing rate, but I'm missing subtotal. Okay. Subtotal I'm missing for a very simple reason. If I go back to my tables, and let's go ahead and open up clients. No subtotal here. In table work completed, no subtotals, only hours worked. In the table employees, no subtotals. There's only billing rate and other information: first name, last name, social security number, position. Okay. Now, what should I do? Okay. What happens is, for example, let's review the record number 1 over here. Okay. So let's click on the record number 1. What happened apparently here is, on September the 12th, 2016, employee named John Smith did the work for company ABC LLC in Newport News, Virginia, and he did that for 8 hours. And what he did was database design. And every time when we send John Smith to work anywhere, really, 1 hour of his work worth $100. So therefore, for 8 hours work on that date, we should charge $800. So really, what we should calculate is a multiplication between worked hours worked, and the billing rate. And that's not recorded anywhere, okay? So we're going to expand our query, all right? I'm going to switch to the SQL view. So go back to the SQL of my 3 table join query. And I'm going to create a new, let's call it field. It's not really field because it does not exist anywhere inside my database, right? But for the lack of a better term, let's call it field. So after the billing rate, that was the last column that I've selected. Let's put a comma, okay? And I'm going to put it on a new line just to emphasize how important that step is, okay? What I will do is I will compute the product of the billing rate times the hours worked. Now, they come from different tables, right? So, and that's what I should do. I should say, let's open and close the brackets. So, hours worked is right there. Okay, it's coming from table work completed. So I have to type table work underscore completed dot, the column name is hours underscore worked. Okay, that selection is multiplied by, let's again open close the brackets and inside type billing rate, but it comes from table employees, so I have to type table name employees dot billing underscore rate. Okay, so essentially what I'm doing is I'm calculating on the fly in the runtime when the query is being executed a product of 2 columns, right? And I'm hopefully I'm going to see that in my results. So I'm going to click on the run button, and my query is pretty much the same, but note that at the end I have a new extra column. So for John Smith, for the first one it says 8 hours, $800 an hour. That's your 800. Next one, Jane Doe, $200 an hour for 5.5 hours. How much is 200 times 5.5? That's $1,100. Okay. Next line, 400 times 4 hours times 200, $800. Okay. So the only thing is, I don't really like how this was called by SQL. It's called Expert 1011. The reason why it's showing this weird title is because, like I was saying, this field does not really exist anywhere in the table. It's computed on the fly. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, just to make it more presentable. That's it. I'm going to switch back to the SQL view and go to the line where you computed these products, hours worked times the billing rate. I'm going to give it a name or an alias so that it's displayed nicely. How do I do that? Well, after this product, I'm going to type as, and then I'm going to give it a name. For example, like in my design, I wanted to call it subtotal, right? And that's what I'm going to type. Oops. I'm going to type here as subtotal. Okay. So this product I'm calling subtotal, and that's how it's going to be displayed in the result. So when I hit the run button, everything is the same, but now my product is called subtotal. Okay, this new column that doesn't really exist anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to save it, and now we're done with the queries. Okay, so just to review, first, in the previous part of these videos, in part number 9, we looked at how we can use SQL to select information from one table. We can select everything from one table, or certain list of columns, or certain subset of records from this table by specifying the condition where, right? Then we looked at how you can specify even more conditions. For example, use the operation OR and use the operation AND. That all was referring to one table operation. So in this video number 10, we have created a 2-table join and then 3-table join. And also we created a computable field, subtotal, which is calculated on the fly when you're running the query. Okay? So in the next set of videos, we're going to look at the last piece of the puzzle of Microsoft Access, is how you create printable reports. So I'm going to stop this video right here.